Right, here we are back again with the Royal Enfield 350 Cafe Racer, and the sharp-eyed among you may have already realised that we got the spark plug out. I went for a ride on it earlier today, which I shared on video, and everything went well enough. And since then I've changed the oil and the oil filter, checked the push rod adjustments, they were fine. Just basically looked over it and cleaned it up a little bit here and there. But curiosity got the better of me regarding the setup of the carburetor and the jetting, the rather small 105 needle jet in there that I found, and the fact that I raised the needle just in case, as I had experienced a little pinking from the engine when I rode the bike home last week. But today I didn't hear any pinking. But I thought I'd just get the spark plug out and have a look and see what sort of colour it had, appearance it had, and that certainly not running weak. It's probably at the sort of heading towards the richer end of okay, so I'm happy enough with that. And obviously I'll listen and look out for any pinking in the future, but there wasn't any today, so that's all good. What else can I say about this? We've got the period sort of float chamber extension on the monoblock carburetor there, and the magneto. When my father bought this bike, this engine had a Lucas distributor on it and coil and battery ignition, and it was like that when we decided that we would cobble up a rev counter drive, and we actually had a working rev counter drive on this engine, but we had to do away with that when we converted to this magneto, because this magneto has got an auto advance unit on the drive gear. The distributor had its auto advance mechanism inside itself, and the problem was we could no longer take a drive for the rev counter from the centre nut of the drive gear, because it would interfere with the advancing of the ignition timing as and when required on the auto advance. So that is why we had to blank that off, and it no longer has a rev counter. But we got a speedometer, and that can hit some fairly high numbers. And there was actually a comment not so long back on one of my other videos about this machine. Yes, but it's no Gold Star though, is it? Well, you want to have a look through my videos and find a few clips where I rode a CB32 350 Gold Star, and although it went well, I had to really work hard to get it moving, and on the ride I did on it, I was lucky enough not to encounter any slower traffic ahead, because in a real world situation on an A road, if I wanted to get along pretty handy, I'd rather be on this than that Gold Star, because this would run rings round it, honestly. So that's just one worth taking on board. Another thing that someone commented on actually was tyres and the age of tyres, and the fact that riding on older tyres didn't seem to bother me. Well, that's true to a point. I like to know that my tyres aren't cracked, I like to know that the pressures in them are good, and I like to know that the rubber they're made of is still fairly supple and not like concrete or cast iron. And as a matter of interest, now this might shock a few, I don't know, but I've checked the date codes. The front tyre on this machine is from 2017, which is not too bad. And that was probably fitted new just as my dad was about to give up riding the bikes actually. The one on the rear is a little bit older, and I'm a bit embarrassed actually. It's old enough that I'm not going to say how old it is, but there's no cracking. The rubber is still quite supple. I'll be keeping an eye on it. I check my tyres frequently and the pressures. The bike rides okay, doesn't scare me, seems to grip well enough on the corners and so on. So make of that what you will. Shoot me down in flames, people, if you must. but you don't need new tyres every 5 minutes, or certainly I don't. Next up, I think I'll be giving this a bit of a clean, and I doubt whether we'll be doing much more mileage on this year, because we're heading through autumn towards winter now, and they put some horrendous crap on the roads once we start getting frosty weather. It almost dissolved my Trident a couple of years ago, so the bikes will be safely tucked away once we get that crap on the roads, because it really is aggressive stuff, and not suitable for the classics or really anything else unless it's made out of plastic, and these certainly aren't made out of plastic. They're made out of real metal, so soon be time to put them away.